Well, what we're looking at, there's a mould, plate mould for the jigger and jollier, and I'm going to use it actually just as a slump mould to make dishes from some of these 8-inch relief tiles that we made. And in the last video I showed you how we made those on the slab roller, which is just behind that there. And it's only a short video if you want to check that out. Quite interesting, very useful bit of kit. And I'm just going to show you how we do this. Now I've got a different relief tile here, which is actually an owl. It's an 8-inch tile. I made it yesterday, so it's still soft enough to manipulate, and there is a bit of a crease in the back of it here from the canvas, but I don't think it matters too much. If it does, we'll just discard it. So what I'm going to do now is just put a rounded corner on the edge of it. And I was looking around for something to form that when I found this sort of Tupperware-ish lid, and I thought if I put it down there like that and cut it with the knife, then it'd be about right. So I'm gonna. It's quite useful because it's got a square. It's got a square corner, so I can use a straight edge on it like that, just to line that up. Now, what I normally do with these tiles, if I'm making tiles, or well, making anything out of them really, is I use these floats here just to soften the edge on the tile. So I just bend it around like that, and there like that, and this helps me to get a straight edge on the tile, and also a little bit of a radius on the top surface of it, which is nice if you're grouting them in, or any sharp edge in pottery. You want to lose it. The sharp edges are bad in pottery. They don't transfer into a nice feel or look, or they don't hold glaze, and they're a bit of a nuisance. So there we go. I've got there. Let me do this one in the corner so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm just going to line those two floats up there like that, and put this this lid resting against that one and against that one. Remove the floats like that, and I'm just going to hold that in place while I cut around that corner like that, and then I'll transfer it to here. Whoops, be careful. I'll transfer it to this corner, which is slightly out of square, but it really doesn't matter. It's still going to give me the same radius down here, and chop that one on. I'm chopping it straight onto the bench here with this knife. These knives aren't sharp, but they cut pottery beautifully. They're made of mild steel, and they're the only things really that successfully cut pottery. I've made loads and loads of them out of old cutlery, but the cutlery is always stainless steel, and clay just doesn't like stainless steel, so they don't actually work very well. So I'm going to cut this one like that. I don't have to be too fussy about it. And finally the last one. Bung those in the bucket. It's not a bucket and chuck it system. It's more of a bucket and pug it system really. We can recycle all of this clay, and there's a huge amount of scrap that comes off these tile making operations, and I'm just going to round that off with the float like that. And just I put a radius on all the other edges here, so I got to use my finger just to soften that one down a little bit like that. Now this white powder on the relief decoration was when we made the tile, we used talcum powder to prevent the linoleum pattern from sticking into the clay body. It's quite an interesting technique that. If you haven't seen it, you might want to check it out. Now, I'm going to now put this face down on this and attempt to level it up as best as I can by feeling where that quite distinct, yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm not going to damage the relief decoration on the tile now, so I'm just going to ease that over with my hand so that I get a nice curve on it. I don't need too much. They're sort of like an open dish, and they're only for serving or you know, whatever you want really. But right, that's pretty well there with that. Now I'm not going to worry too much about this because I think if it looks awful when I eventually take it off, I'll just scrap it. But for the purposes of demonstration, you can see I'm just knocking off that very sharp edge on the bottom of this with a sponge, and there we are. So all we need really to do, and what we've done with the other one there, is just put some little feet on it. We can do that in any number of ways, and as I say, I am looking at perhaps putting an extruded foot on it. Bit of a shame about that, isn't it? What can I do about that? Well, what I could do is just take a piece of clay and repair it, because this is still leather hard, so I can still work with it. I've got some gloopy stuff here, and I could, it's the same clay, this, so I could actually repair it with that. It seems a bit of a shame not to, as they're quite useful, these dishes. So if I take some kind of spatula or something and just do that. I'll just leave that to dry off a little bit and come back and sponge it off when it's set a little bit. So that's that one done. And here's one I did just before, and I'm not sure what pattern this is. I think I can sort of lift it off and show you. It's an owl, and that's really popular pattern. So it makes a very, very nice little dish. The talcum powder, we just brush that off with a soft brush when it's gone off a bit, and so as soon as it's ready to remove from the slump molds, this I only did this 5 minutes ago, so it's still pretty soft. And yeah, I just brush it off with a soft brush like this, and then we're ready to biscuit fire it once the feet are on it. Simple as that, really. A very easy way of turning a tile into a dish. There's lots of things you could use as a slump mould if you don't have these, but talking of these, we are going to come back and look at that machine and make some plates from these moulds. You might be interested. It's quite an exciting process, that, so you might be interested to tune in on that. If you do want to see it, subscribe to the channel, because you'll get some kind of notification of new videos coming on, and I'm putting them on quite a lot. I think we've got now about 15 or 16 videos, and the idea is to cover as many technical aspects of making pottery in a studio as we can. You know, if you're setting off down that road, you might find this useful. Well, thanks for joining us for that one, and look forward to catching up with you in the next one.